Hello, in this video, let us try to simulate a basic network. We are doing this with the help of Cisco Packet Tracer, a network simulation freeware by Cisco. Then, let's start by adding the components, a router, then a switch. This is to distribute the packets, and finally a computer. Now we shall start connecting the components. So let's choose this tool to lay our cables and connect those ports. Since the hardware part is now configured, let's now start by programming the router. To do that, let's start by double clicking the router and heading over to the CLI tab. Since we are not going to do it with a wizard, we are going to give no. The enable command gives us an elevated privilege to program the router. Then let's get into the configuration portal of the router. This command now tells the router that we are going to initialize the port FA0/0. With this, we are now specifying an IP address for our router, which will be 10.0.0.1, which is the default gateway for the whole network. And this is the subnet mask. As I don't want the router shutting down, I am giving this command no shut, which means the router will not shut down. Now, when we try sending a packet from the router to the laptop, we must get an error saying that there are no ports on the laptop. Yeah, you can see that. This was due to the lack of the configurations in the laptop. So let's configure the laptop by going towards IP settings, and let's add the IP manually because we didn't set up a DHCP server, so we have to set the static IP. And you know the IP addresses must start from the IP which is next to the router's IP. So let's do it. Now that we have configured, let's try sending the packet again. Okay, now it failed. This happens every first time that you send a packet after the configuration. Let's try sending it again. Yeah, we have succeeded sending the packet. We have now successfully simulated a static IP network. So now let's try it with a DHCP network. To start with that, we already know that we have configured our router in the static IP mode. So all we have to do now is add a DHCP server which has a pool of IP addresses. So we can assign it to the computers. This network command is used to specify a subnet and also the mask for it, which is the number of IP addresses under the subnet. With this command, we are specifying the IP address of our router. This can be used by our computers to connect to the internet. Now, what we are going to do is, we are going to exclude some IP addresses so that we can configure it as a static IP for our servers or DVRs at our houses. We can do that by specifying an IP range after this command. Now that we are done configuring, let's check whether our laptop can connect to the DHCP server by changing the static option to DHCP. Okay, the request was successful and we have served an IP 0.8. That is the IP which is after the reserved list of IPs. So this means it's successful. Now let's check whether a packet from the router would reach the laptop. Okay, the first time it fails as always. Now Yeah, we are successful. That's it for this video, and thank you for watching.